Welcome back. Continuing the tradition of MCUs. I already talked about Iron Man 1 and 2 and the Incredible Hulk. So, Thor 1. This was the fourth installment, and this was the first Thor movie, and it was directed by Kenneth Branagh. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Hopkins, Idris Elba, Natalie Portman. All those people. I'm trying to really record really fast because my iPhone is not the best type of thing to hold enough data. So, when it comes to Thor 1, the plot is very simple. Is Thor does something really stupid. He's banished onto our planet, on Earth, this MCU Earth, and it's basically the usual fish out of water thing we've seen before. Now, I'm gonna be honest. This film, I will say, just breathe in. While it's Personally, for me, while it is, there are some people who really kind of downvote this. And I think it's personally one of the more underrated films, but I will be of the MCU. But I will be honest, while it is not as interesting as like the first two Iron Man movies, and shut up, I like Iron Man 2, don't kill me. It's still pretty damn good. I mean, for what we got at the time before Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, and it's miles better than the Incredible Hulk. At least it's more watchable than the Incredible Hulk. And there are so many things I really like about the movie, um, like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Like he's still really great as Thor up to this very day. Tom Hiddleston as Loki, really great. And what else? The production design is really awesome. Like Bo Welch was the production designer for this, and he's done like a lot of Tim Burton movies and some Barry Sonnenfeld movies. So it's like really great, like the Asgard, and like at the end of the movie, spoilers, like when they have an entire town that they built just to blow up, they pulled the Blazing Saddles. That was actually pretty cool that they actually did that. Given that this was one of the early Marvel films. And also some of the cinematography is really cool. This was like the last Marvel movie to be completely shot on film, and their second one to be shot with anamorphic lenses. Of course, the DP was Harrison Barlucas, the guy who collaborates regularly with Kenneth Branagh, and the cinematography works at times. And the score from Patrick Doyle is also pretty good. I mean, it's Kenneth Branagh, so it's going to be Patrick Doyle. And yeah, those are my pros on this movie. This is less of a review, but I'm trying to record as fast as possible. Now, I do have some problems with the film that I realize does not really hold up well compared to the other films. And I think it's mainly Natalie Portman. And it's not that I don't like her. I think she's a really talented actress and a really attractive woman. But I feel like her character was just more like, trying to become that Ellie Arroway character from Contact. Jodie Foster character from Contact. And I guess it just did not work for Thor. Like, the Stellan Skarsgård character, I guess he kind of works. He's better. But, I don't know. And some of the cinematography, while I did like some of it for being like a film photography and anamorphic photography in the MCU, which is rare these days. Well, not unless you're the Russo brothers, then you can shoot anamorphic all the livelong day. But it's like some of the cinematography had various Dutch tilts. Now, some of the tilts worked with the movie, like when they're on Jotunheim with the Frost Giants. And, of course, some scenes with Loki, the tilts really worked well. Some of the suspenseful scenes worked pretty well with the Dutch tilts. And one thing but, I kind of prefer the flare shots to the Dutch tilts. Like the lens flare shots that appear in the movie. The anamorphic horizontal flares. And there's so many scenes in this where it was like they tilted the camera like this in a normal scene and like this in a normal scene, and it became distracting. I understand that Kenneth Branagh was trying to replicate a comic book panel where comic book panels are often tilted, but it happened on some of the most unnecessary scenes where it's like you could have just kept the camera still there. There was no tilt necessary for a certain scene, and if you've seen the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But other than that, this is still a pretty worthy entry in the MCU. It's basically, I would say, the sum of all fears of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But, it's like, hey, I like the sum of all fears better than most people, and this film, as far as it goes, it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty damn good. So I'd give it like a 3.5 stars, a solid A minus. I guess that's the only one I've ever given an A minus to currently, as of now. Um, so yeah, Thor 1, what did you think of it? Did you at least find this, as interesting and better than what people give it credit for? Let me know downstairs in the comments below, and until next time, take care.